What is your date of birth, Mr. Gray?
Uh, Good afternoon, Your Honor. 72 is my date of birth. I have a
Can you say that again? Go ahead, say what you were about to say.
I have a motion before the court, Your Honor.
Let me first start. Do you need a lawyer, sir?
No, Your Honor.
City of Detroit versus Christopher Gray. I'm going to state your name for the record.
Christopher Lamar Gray.
All right, today is the date and time set for a pretrial, and then there's warrants on the other matters. I'm going to enter not guilty plea on your behalf. I'm going to give you a $0 bond. And I'll recall the warrants. What is your motion, sir?
I have a motion to strike and dismiss.
What are the bases?
Basis of federal rules of civil procedure. Number one, there's no claim. There's no ratification of the claim.
There is a claim. There is a. You want me to read out I waived the reading of the information. You want me to read the allegations that have been made into the record? Do you need me to do that?
No, I don't. No, I don't, Your Honor.
I deny your motion on that basis. What else do you have to say?
You deny my motion.
Before this hearing even gets moving, pay attention to how quickly courtroom control is established. The judge starts with simple questions, but what's about to happen is something we see all the time in modern courtrooms. Someone stepping in with internet legal theories, convinced they've discovered a loophole the entire legal system somehow missed. The question is, will it hold up for even 5 minutes?
Your motion because there is a, and this is criminal procedure, not civil procedure. But I denied your motion because there is an allegation here.
You're saying, Your Honor, you're saying this is a criminal matter?
Yes.
Okay, well then we need the corpus delicti. And so that's what I'm asking for. If there was a criminal matter, basically what you're telling me is that something has happened, someone has either been damaged or someone has been or either someone has been damaged or someone has something has been come up missing. And if that's the case, then that means that there is a crime. And if there's a crime, then there is the what do you have that's saying that I did the crime? What you're saying that I created this crime that hurt this person, and if I hurt this person and I created the crime, then a third thing that you have to have is the identification of the person. You have the identification of the person, which is me, but you don't have a person saying that they were hurt or damaged, or the crime that's saying what I did to hurt or damage the person. So how do you have a crime?
Okay. You went to law school?
Watch closely because the judge is about to do something experienced judges often do: translate complicated legal theory into plain reality. Instead of debating philosophy, the court is going to point directly to the alleged violations. Registration, license status, insurance. These are statutory requirements. Whether someone believes in them isn't actually part of the equation.
Where did you learn all that?
I've been studying for quite some time, trying to understand what's going on. I have a different perspective as to what's being said that happened. I'm understanding more the procedure that is necessary for a crime to go for them to bring a crime forward.
This moment right here is fascinating. The defendant is leaning heavily on the idea that a crime only exists if someone was personally harmed. It sounds logical on the surface, but the law doesn't actually work that way. Many offenses exist specifically to prevent harm before it happens. So the real question becomes, is he misunderstanding the law or trying to redefine it?
I've done some Cornell law studies. I've also sat down with a couple of friends who have had some issues. I picked up wherever I could, just started to study the law, just started to go back through Cornell law, started to figure out what was going on and to understand the nature of how crimes, what a crime is and everything else. So just a
And
course of
Cornell
me searching it
law,
out.
and you're citing Cornell law for all of that you just said to the court?
No, what I did, Your Honor, was I realized that one of the biggest portions that you have to have is you have to have the corpus delicti. And that is
Okay.
in when you're
What is a
being
corpus,
charged
what
criminally.
is a corpus delicti?
What do you mean, what is the corpus delicti?
What is your understanding of what corpus delicti is?
That is the corpus delicti is the law that's saying that there is a crime that's being committed. So in order to do that, you have to show the corpus delicti, which is you saying this is what happened. This is how this person was
Okay,
damaged.
so,
There is
so
no
the
person.
officer on this day, on these dates, because I got a lot of them, said
I
that you
object.
drove.
I object.
Don't,
The
don't
officer
interrupt,
works.
don't interrupt
Okay,
me,
I
don't
apologize,
interrupt.
Your Honor. I apologize, Your Honor. My apologies.
Officer says that, you drove a vehicle that wasn't registered and wasn't titled, or titled, and or untitled, that you drove without a valid driver's license, that you drove without valid insurance. Again, on a different occasion, they allege that you drove but without a valid driver's license and no insurance. And then on a different occasion, they allege that you drove without unregistered or untitled or both, and drove without a valid driver's license, repeat offender, that you failed to have a trailer plate, and that you failed to secure a load on your vehicle. And on another occasion, on the same occasion that you failed to secure, that they allege you failed to secure the load, failed to have a trailer plate on your vehicle, that you didn't provide a valid driver's license. So those are the crimes. And in the state of Michigan, whether you agree or not, they are crimes. So based on your motion and all of that stuff you talk about, corpus delicti and things like that, the court denies the motion. Okay, based on those reasons I just said. Now, how do you want to move forward? Because
I want.
wait a minute, I'm not finished.
My
How
apologies,
do
Your
you
Honor.
want to move forward? Because in my experience, someone that comes into court, as you do,
Yes, Your
you
Honor.
do not want to take an offer. You do not believe that you need to have plates or registration or insurance, and you just disregard all of that portion of the law. And either you are going to move forward by having a trial, or you're going to take a deal. What do you want to do, sir?
Your Honor, first I want.
This is one of the most revealing moments in the hearing. The judge isn't angry, he's analytical. He's trying to understand the defendant's worldview. Courts see these arguments often, claims about jurisdiction, authority, and personal interpretation of law. But notice how the judge keeps steering the conversation back to one thing: what the statutes actually say.
Whatever your objection is noted. What do you
Okay.
want to do, sir? Do you
I'll
want a
ask for.
trial? I have to
I would
ask
like.
you have two options: trial, or you want to take a deal.
Your Honor, I request a jury trial.
A jury trial.
A jury trial, yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Mrs. Mathis, I need a jury trial date. Please.
And if I may, Your Honor, what time is Mr. Gray presently docketed?
I don't even think it matters, but I'll tell you. I don't think it matters. He's got the newer cases and the older cases are pre-trial at 8:35. Christopher Lamar Gray, and then he had some in warrant status. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cases into the record. You know what I want to ask, Mr. Gray, and you can choose to answer it or not.
Yes, Your Honor.
But what I surmise and what I've heard, and I don't know if you're alleging the same thing, is that and you basically did allege the same thing, that no crime has been committed because no person has been, the people of the state of Michigan are in danger of you driving without the proper documentation or anything like that. But I don't, and I'm gonna surmise, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you're gonna say that there's no jurisdiction to be able to pull you over because no one has been injured. Is that correct?
I think that what I'm saying is that the city of Detroit had an officer pull me over to say that you're not following these rules. And my stance is, okay, well, then that's fine. If we're following rules, then therefore, let me make sure that you as well as are following the rules, because if I don't do that, then freedoms are lost. So that is in
Right.
which that is the way that I proceed to say, okay, well then if we're playing cards and we play and show me yours, if this is your hand and this is mine, and let's proceed accordingly to the law. That's it. That's my only standing is if someone doesn't stand up every once in a while and define the edges, then they all disintegrate and people lose rights.
And you know something? With
Yes,
that
sir.
being said, I would agree with you 1,000%.
Mhm.
That's why I pride myself, and I hope I'm doing a good job for the citizens that come in here and the police for that matter and the prosecution, that I am calling the balls and strikes right. And if something doesn't proceed as it should, then I will dismiss the case one way or the other. But in my short time on this bench, and in my time at practicing law as a
Mhm.
defense attorney, I get this, they can't pull me over. I've heard the corpus delicti, first time the civil procedure has been thrown at me. But from the way I see it, is that you just don't feel that the police have a jurisdiction to pull you over for these issues. Is that correct?
You have the what again, Your Honor, what I feel is that if we are following rules, and if I have to follow the rules, and every person out there, all of these officers, everybody else has to follow the rules. So if it
Okay,
comes
so what
down
I'm
to
gonna,
it,
so
and
what
we
I'm gonna
yes,
hope
sir.
that you do by
Yes,
the
Your Honor.
time you come back on the trial date, this jury trial date is gonna be strike that, March the 18th, 2025.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're probably gonna have an audience because everybody follows me on these cases
Yeah.
all the time.
And here's the first major turning point. The defendant walks in confident, armed with what sounds like legal terminology, but the judge immediately notices something important. He's quoting civil procedure in a criminal case. That's like bringing soccer rules into a basketball game. Right away, the courtroom dynamic shifts, and you can almost feel the judge preparing to dismantle the argument piece by piece. The defendant is leaning heavily.
But we're
That
gonna we're gonna give that
it's not
audience
that.
January, March the 18th, 2025. We're gonna have
Okay.
a final pre-trial date. Final pre-trial. This is to you, Mr. Bowman, especially the day before on February 17th, 2025 at 8:30. So Mr. Gray and Mr. Uh, uh, Bowman, Mr. Bowman, I need you to have all your officers appear on that date. Who's ever going to state these allegations, so that we know that we're not just summoning the people of the city of Detroit to a jury that's not actually going to go. So all parties must appear, and that can be via Zoom. And the trial is going to be in person. All right. All parties must appear on final pre-trial date and obviously on the trial date. And what I would implore you to do is you need to figure out the right game, because it doesn't sound like you're playing the right game.
I understand, Your Honor. I appreciate, first and foremost, let me say I appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate you sitting here and engaging with me at this level. So I recognize what you're saying, And so yeah, I guess it's to the table we go. So
Yeah, but get your game in order because I'm just giving
yes,
you a
sir.
little hands up. If you come
Yes,
in with
sir.
that game on the jury trial date, then more than likely you'll lose unless you can find one of those jurors or a couple of those jurors or even all of them to have some sympathy for you, sir. I don't
Well,
know.
I got a whole basis for understanding, and so yeah, if you know
Well,
it
that
is what it
basis
is.
that you outlined shortly today is not,
What was
Before this hearing even gets moving, pay attention to how quickly courtroom control is established. The judge starts with simple questions, but what's about to happen is something we see all the time in modern courtrooms. Someone stepping in with internet legal theories, convinced they've discovered a loophole the entire legal system somehow missed. The question is, will it hold up for even 5 minutes?
we already discussed it. The federal rules of civil procedure that you brought up as a motion to dismiss, not the right basis. The corpus delicti, they do have a corpus delicti. They do have a crime that they say has been committed. And if you read the MCL, the Michigan Court Rules, and the Michigan statutes, then you'll see those crimes outlined there. They have them on the tickets. They got the statute numbers that are on the tickets. So that's not the right basis. So you're in a whole different ball game, and you need to come on to this ball game here.
okay? All right, okay. Well, I guess we will have that discussion again. I appreciate it. I also want to say I recognize and honor your compassion that you sit on the bench with. I see it as you go out here and you judge our people, and so for all of that, kudos, man. That's for where you sit. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I appreciate
Yes,
that,
sir.
Mr. Gray.
Yes, sir.
You have a
Yes,
safe
sir.
happy holiday season, sir, and
And you as well.
best of luck to you. I'll see you back on March the 17th, 2025 at 8:30 for a final pretrial. And let me say this, let me add to
Yes,
the
sir.
record.
Yes,
If
Your Honor.
if there's any motions, those motions need to be in writing.
10 days within 10 days.
Let's put that on the record to a motion. Those motions need to be in writing. Have those motions to the court by February 14th, 2025. And the response will be February 21st, 2025. And I'll rule on those motions on the final pretrial date of 3/17/2025. Again, all
Thank you,
parties
Your Honor.
must appear.
And here's the first major turning point. The defendant walks in confident, armed with what sounds like legal terminology, but the judge immediately notices something important. He's quoting civil procedure in a criminal case. That's like bringing soccer rules into a basketball game. Right away, the courtroom dynamic shifts, and you can almost feel the judge preparing to dismantle the argument